and the denominator for that. So fractions are more complicated than non-fractions. So is there a way for us to get rid of this fraction? Yes, I don't want a numerator and denominator. I want just everything in one line only. And it is possible. So we went through some of the things that you can do for this already. So instead of 1.5, I'm going to put it as 3 over 2 first, because that will be more useful for me instead of 1.5. Remember, we always prefer to deal with our improper fractions. Now, when you have a fraction equal to another fraction, one more time see here. One more time see here. When you have fraction equal to another fraction, draw arrows as such to indicate that whatever is in the denominator of one of them multiplied by the other numerator, you get the same value when you have the vice versa. Okay, so here we get y plus 1 multiplied by 3 is the same as our 3y minus 2 multiplied by 2. Okay, in this way, we have removed the fraction already. Things become way easier. So this is one skill you must have. Fraction, equal fraction, straight away, don't need to think already. Draw the arrows like this, over the equal sign. Draw these arrows over the equal sign, and then we will expand. So 3y plus 3, we get 6y minus 4. Then you simplify, subtract 3y on both sides. I will have 3y on the right hand side. The 3y on the left hand side is removed already. I remove it by subtracting 3y. Then I want to remove this negative 4. I do so by adding 4 to it. I add 4 to the right hand side, I must add 4 to the left hand side. So I get 7. Now 3 of the y is equal to 7. Yes? Yeah, okay, so 3 of the y is equal to 7. So 1 of it must be 7 divided by 3. That is how, when I have 3 times of 7, I get 3 times of y, I get 7. Okay? So check. How many of you got this correct by yourself? Yay! Hey, how about this side? Nobody got it correct? Okay, put our hands. Moving on to the next question. Same thing. Every time you see a fraction equal to another fraction, draw arrow. And then, what is to be multiplied? Just follow the instructions of an arrow. Everything in the denominator multiplied by the numerator. So x plus 1 multiplied by 7. Before I continue writing the second half, I just want to check. If I don't draw the brackets, is it going to be the same? If it's just like this, x plus 1 times 7, is it the same? What does this actually mean without brackets? Yeah, this means x plus 7. That is not what I want. This is incorrect. Now, how about if I write it the other way? I have 7 times x plus 1. Is this correct? 7 multiplied by x plus 1. Is this correct? See, your x plus 1 multiplied by 7, right? Or rather 7 times x plus 1, same thing. So is it okay to write it this way? Is it okay? You have to think critically, because I'm showing you possible answers that students give. Because they say, oh, multiply, 7x, 7 times x plus 1 lah. And then they get it wrong. So to make it correct, we need to put brackets this way. And then, on the other side, we have 5 times of 2x. So expand 7x plus 7, we have 10x on the right hand side. So to remove the two occasions, or rather x appeared on the left hand side, it appeared on the right hand side. So I only want it to appear one time. You may choose to subtract 10x on both sides, keeping in mind that it will result in a negative 3x on the left hand side. And then you will still need to subtract 7 on both sides, resulting in a negative 7 on the right hand side. So instead of doing that, then you have two sides negative. How about we subtract 7x on both sides, resulting in 3x. So I've just subtracted 7x on both sides. In this case, 3 times of x gives me 7. So 1 of that x must be 7 divided by 3. Looks really familiar. Is it the same thing? Yeah. Okay. Next. Exercise 4. Here we have a formula. Find the value of a when t equals to 4, u is 32, and v equals to 20. Find the value of a. First, we can do the substitution straight away. There are 2 methods, So method 1, substitute at the start. Okay, so let's do the substitution really fast. T, they gave us the value of t, which is 4, equals to v. V has a value of 20, minus u. U has a value of 32, divided by a. So in our numerator, we have negative 12 over a, and this is equal to 4. So you can multiply by a on both sides, then you divide by 4 on both sides. Alternatively, if you stick with the method that I've been using for quite some time, change it into a fraction, multiply both sides. 4a equals to negative 12. A is negative 3. So that is the first method, which is to do the substitution right at the start. The other method on the right hand side, method 2. You can choose to make a the subject. So what does that mean? If you look at the formula, we have t equals to. So currently, t is the subject. That means when we write t equals to something, so t is the subject. X equals to something, x is the subject. Now since they want to find a, I can make a the subject. So I'll just copy down the question first. T equals to v minus u over a. In order to make a the subject, I don't want it in the denominator anymore. So same steps. We end up with a t equals to v minus u. I only want a as the subject, only a on the left hand side. So I don't want a t, I'm going to divide the right hand side by t. Okay, so now a is our subject, a is equals to v minus u over t. And then I substitute the values inside. And I'll straight away get the answer for a. So v has a value of 20, then minus u, which is 32, divided by t, which is 4. And you see that the working is actually the same, we get negative 3. 20 minus 32, they appear on both sides, and then there is a division by 4 after that. So negative 12 divided by 4, same answer, negative 3. So next, method 1 and method 2, I am going to use method 2 from here on, just to practice the algebra instead of putting in numbers and then evaluating numbers. Okay, so find the value of r. Make r the subject. Make r the subject. From the original question, so we originally had s equals to a over 1 minus r. I'm going to put this as a fraction as well, s over 1. Okay, so put the s on top, over 1. So fraction equals to fraction. Draw the arrows. No need to take. Confirm will work. Okay, multiply them together. 1 minus r times s equals to a times 1. No need to write times 1. I want to make r the subject. Currently, r is trapped inside this bracket with a multiplication of s. So to remove this s value, I divide by s on both sides. 1 minus r, that is a over s. And next, I want to remove the 1. To remove the 1, we subtract by 1 on both sides. Negative r equals to a over s minus 1. Finally, I just want r only. I don't want a negative sign. I'm going to multiply by negative 1 on the right hand side as well. And that effect is just a change in the sign. Negative 1 becomes positive 1. A over S becomes negative A over S. I've just made R the subject. And now I'm going to do the substitution. So continue. R equals to 1 minus A value is 3 over S value 1 and 1/3. So you can key this in your calculator and find out the value. Alternatively, work it out. 1 minus 3 divided by 4 over 3. Okay, this fraction is just a division. Dividing by 4 over 3. 1 minus 3, keep, change and flip. So dividing by 4 over 3 is the same as times 3 over 4. So 1 minus number times fraction. Numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator, 9 over 4. So 4 over 4 minus 9 over 4, we get negative 5 over 4. Of course, all this can be done with your calculator.
I actually have another method.
Okay, what is your other method?
Is that first 4 over 3 times 1 minus r.
4 over 3 times 1 minus r. Why?
I didn't do it.
Then equals to 3. Then after that I can simplify 4 over 3 times 1 minus r.
Okay, basically what you did was method 1 lah. You did the substitution at the start. Yeah, okay. So like I mentioned, I wanted to show you all using method number 2, which is making R the subject. Because later on, you will be forced to do this type of question. Make R the subject. So your manipulation, when I say manipulation, I mean whatever you do on one side, you do on the other side, must be strong. Next, length of the spring. Okay, it is given by L equals to 70 plus 5M. So imagine a spring. Over here, the length is given by L equals to 70 plus 5M, where M is the mass attached. So can you imagine, the larger the mass that you put, the more the extension, right? So the larger the mass, the greater the length. If mass is equals to 3, you have 5 times 3, which is 15, then plus 70. So you get 85, so on and so forth. Then they ask us to find the original length of the spring.
70.
So what do you think is the original length?
L minus 5m.
No, L minus 5M is 70, no? What is the original length? So the original length, for the original length, what is the value of the mass? Mass M, what is the value when we are talking about original length? Are you even putting anything on the spring? Is there anything attached to the spring? No, right? Because we want the original, so you are not attaching anything to it. If you're not attaching anything to it, then what is the mass that you attach to it? What is the mass that you are attaching to it? 0. Exactly. The mass is 0. The mass is 0. M equals to 0. So the original length, because you didn't put a mass to it, what? Original length is 70 plus 5 times of 0, which is just 70 cm.
What? Wait, I got 70. I take away. I got 70, but I just take away the 5.
Why would you take away the 5?
I don't know. Wait, because I said my unit. I just took away the
Can you visualize what's happening? The greater the mass, the greater the extension. But when you remove all the mass, that implies that M itself has a value of 0. We are not putting anything there. So 0 times 5 is 0. There is no extension at all. It goes back to the original length of 70. Next one, the final homework question. The product of M over 2 and 8. What does this part mean? What does the highlighted portion mean?
M divided by 2 times 8.
m over 2 times 8 equals to negative 20. Form an equation. Did I just form an equation already? Yes, I did. An equation has the left hand side and the right hand side, and there is also a equal sign in between. So this is an equation. Solve for m. Okay, I've got an 8, I've got a 2.
8 divided by
I believe you will cancel 1 and 4, right? So 4m is negative 20. 4m is equal to negative 20. 4m negative 20. So what is m? Just divide by 4 on both sides. We are solving advanced levels or type of questions. Let's see how advanced this is. 3x plus 4 equals to 2x plus 7. Hey, actually, can you handle this? I think you can handle this yourself, right? What should we do? What should we do on both sides? Glenn, what should we do on both sides? Minus 2x, yes. So you take away 2x, you're left with x on the left hand side. At the same time, we also want to get rid of that 4 over there by subtracting 4. A one-step answer. Okay, next one, part B. Part B, what shall we do on both sides? Minus 5x, correct. So when you subtract 5x, you're left with a 9 equals to 3x plus 3. So what else do we do from here? Minus 9? Minus 3 on both sides. Always on both sides, not just one side only. Minus 3 on both sides, we get 6 equals to 3x. Okay, then finally x equals to 6 divided by 3, which is just 2. Part C. First step is to expand. So 8x minus 2. 10x minus 15. Check your sign. And what do we do on both sides? Minus 8x, okay. So left with negative 2. 2x left, minus 15. And what do we do after this? I don't want at negative 15. Plus 15. So 15 minus 2, that's 13. That is 2x. So x will be 13 over 2. Part D. Wait, am I going too fast? Okay, part D. I have, wow, this looks more complicated now. I've got a fraction plus 3 equals to x. And I've got x appearing many times. So there are many different approaches to this, many of which will be correct. Okay, I want to combine the left hand side into one single fraction. Of course, you can subtract 3 on both sides also, up to you. Okay, but I would like to combine these two on the left hand side into one single fraction. That requires me to have the same denominator of 5. Okay, by doing so, my numerator becomes 6 times of 2x minus 7 plus 15 over 5 equals to x. And the next step, we can now expand. At the same time, I can multiply by 5 on both sides to remove the denominator. So 12x minus 42 plus 15 equals to 5x. So 2 steps combined into one. I did an expansion and I also multiplied by 5. We always want to leave it in a linear form, in one line, instead of having fractions, because fractions are harder to deal with. So now, we can go through our usual process, group all your items together, subtract 5x on both sides. So negative 42 plus 15, that is 27. Yeah, negative 27. So you add 27 to both sides, right hand side will be left with 27. Then our final answer, x will be 27 over 7. And that's the answer. No need to change to mixed fraction. You can leave it like this. And of course, no need to change to decimal also. Because in a decimal form, you see that you have many decimal places. 3.85714 blah blah blah. You're not going to write everything down. You're probably going to round off. And then it's no longer going to be exact. Whereas my 27 over 7 is exact. Okay, try part E by yourself now. I have a fraction minus another fraction equal to 0. Hey, if I have something minus something equal to 0, what can you tell me about these two things?
The same.
They are the same, right? If something minus something equals 0, then they are the same, isn't it? I'm going to write that they are the same now. X minus 1 over 5 equals to 2x minus 3 over 7. Then now, fraction equal to fraction, multiply. So 7 times of x minus 1, 5 times of 2x minus 3. So go ahead and expand, do your usual. Subtract 7x on both sides, we're left with 3x on the right hand side. Add 15 to both sides, 15 minus 7, that is 8. So x equals to 8 over 3. Right? So different ways, you will still get a correct same answer. As long as your method is correct, there are no careless mistakes. Negative?
Thôi,
No?
thôi,